Welcome, everyone, to another edition of Love Wrestling Sunday Brunch. I am Chris Parrish, alongside to my right here is Bobby Money Munson, and right down below me is the host of Poetry of a Promo, the Wordsmith. But before we get to how you all are doing, we want to make sure that we plug our sponsors, the beautiful Manscaped, as you can see right here on this t-shirt, that if you want to groom your genital region, make sure you go to manscaped.com. And if you use the code word Love Wrestling, you not only get free shipping, but 20% off your order. And let me tell you, it is one of the best razors I've ever used. And that's not even, and that's actually just undisputed, because I can say that. I don't know if anybody else can. And then we also want to show some love to Rich King at RK Athletics 1, where if you want to go and learn a little bit more about personal nutrition, diet, and maybe get in a little bit of a better shape, go to Rich King, who I think personally has one of the best bodies in professional wrestling. And if you want to go see him and take an actual one-on-one seminar, he does those. But if you're not, he also does online seminars. Go check him out. He is not only one of the hardest working guys, but he is definitely one of the most, let's just say, guys I'm most jealous of, because he has a six-pack and it's on his body, it's not in his fridge. So I'm pretty jealous of that.
It's the transition. It's a very difficult transition to make between fridge and body. Let's be real.
Well, I mean, the food.
Yeah, right?
I mean, sometimes it just goes right through me. But yeah, no, anyway, Jay, how are you doing? Or Wordsmith, how are you doing?
I was going to say, he who shall not be named, the Mr. Consonant, will never be brought up in my presence.
I figure, like Men in Black, we all need names, so you can be Jay, Bobby can be M. Actually, that's more James Bond.
Yes. Well, I think it's a mix of the two, really, if we're being honest here. Ooh, ideas. I am good. It's a Sunday. I'm relaxed. I taken some time off writing new material for the show, and there are some big ideas coming.
Ooh, ideas. Bobby, how are you doing?
I'm doing really good today. A little tired, out late last night. We had a Prairie Pro Wrestling show, so I'm excited to be able to talk some more wrestling after only a few hours of sleep.
Yeah, and we got a good chat going on. We got Leo London. Very nice to see you. Thank you so much for coming out. And we got Bobby come in. I do enjoy watching great matches on NWA USA for the junior heavyweight division on NWA area. Davari against Jay Spade. Awesome. I have to check that out. Maggie, how are you? What the hell is going on? Well, we're streaming. How are you? And what are you doing?
Wordsmith is in checks notes. The house. That's what the heck is going on here.
And Bat, Sir 69. Nice. Great PPW show last night. And they're amazing. Coming in, checking us out. Thank you for coming by. Man, they're amazing. Just one of the just awesome, man. Just absolutely here every single time.
Could we say that amazing? That's amazing. No? Low-hanging fruit. There's no such thing, especially on Poetry for Promo.
Anybody who takes the time to watch one of our shows here on Love Wrestling is amazing, though.
This is true. This is true. This is true.
Hello.
Oh, you know.
Astrid, hello. They're amazing. Oh, and Shane, congrats. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Should we talk about it?
It's
a show and tell. It's a show and
tell. I mean, we can. I mean, I did win a little bit of.
Give him the full screen. I think.
No,
let's do it.
No.
Yeah.
No.
There we go.
You're on the spot.
Okay.
There we go. Look at that.
There we go.
Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know what the company's called, but the
RCW Canadian Tag Team Champions
of the world.
There you go.
The Canadian champions of the world.
Canadian champions of the world. Yes, it's. I don't know how to get out of here. Somebody else get us out of here. Yes.
There we go.
All you have to do is click the left button on your thing. Just say. Well, pressure.
Welcome,
right?
Astrid. We've made them do it.
It's pressure. Speaking of pressure, the pressure was on at Hard to Kill, but our good old friend Mike Speedball Kelly absolutely kicked kicked its ass. So we want to definitely give a good shout out to Mike.
Who's Speedball Kelly?
Mike Bailey. Sorry.
It's
You know
Mike
what?
Bailey.
This is why I drink after shows. I'm usually normal, and I didn't drink after last night's show.
Do you drink to forget, sir? Anyway,
I drink to forget. Yeah,
pick this up. I love you. You have a tag team championship. You have this. We're live.
You know what? I almost feel that I now need to give you the big screen to save the show.
Well, ladies, gentlemen, and lizards alike, if you're not watching Impact Wrestling, let me give you a couple reasons why. Speedball 1, Mike 2, Bailey 3. And also, there's someone called PCO on the show. Don't believe me, just watch. Go watch Impact. Do yourself a favor. They're putting out fantastic content at the moment. And I might be a little bit biased, but I feel like the Quebec wrestling scene is dominating that company right now, or at least on the way to. And I am more than excited to see that. Dead silence on the stream.
Carl, Speedball did an amazing job. Sorry.
I haven't seen the GCW show yet.
I think you need to go see GCW.
GCW
is absolutely just on fire right now.
Who was it? Who did he wrestle last night? In the comments, or do you gentlemen know?
I'm not certain myself.
Yeah, the comments definitely gonna have to let us know. I was a little bit preoccupied last night, and I'm sure Bobby, you were as well.
You were busy last night? I had no idea.
A little bit.
What was happening last night? Were you winning a title?
Yeah. But guys, news kind of just came out where Ali has requested his release from WWE and actually has posted saying that he has in fact done so. What do you guys think about this? Is it not really a surprise to you, or are you guys shocked that this is now happening?
I think we said it kind of before we went live on the air. Like, isn't this a weekly thing at this point from Ali? Like, I mean, he's a great wrestler, and I'd like to see more of him. And maybe the WWE isn't the right home for him and stuff. And hopefully he gets what he wants in the long run. But does anything come as a surprise with releases anymore? I really don't think so. I think there's nothing outside of them suddenly releasing a Roman Reigns that would actually surprise me at this point.
Yeah, I mean, it's also a different story when the talent is upset and doesn't want. And I don't think this is a company that will release guys they don't want to, but if they will request a release, they say, yeah, go. Like, I think they're always going to give guys releases for the most part now. Maybe not the case a few years back, but I think now it's pretty much if you don't want to be here, then don't be here kind of mentality. But it would be nice to see at least 3-4 weeks go with WWE where somebody doesn't leave.
I mean, that's kind of the depressing trend at the moment. But I mean, it's more of a it's kind of a chicken and the egg situation. If you'll allow me to elaborate on that, I will. It's more of a maybe that's which ladies in the women's division who left. Was it Tony Storm? If I'm wrong,
Tony walked out.
Yeah. I feel like that's the same situation as Ali just had. I'm probably going to be cut. I will leave on my own terms and not have to wait. That's what I think. That's the feeling that I get, because if the writing's on the wall, run. Like, if they're letting people leave, if they're forcing people out, just go. And this is beyond professional wrestling. This is more personal. This is more work based. If you're not happy and you're worried you're going to lose your job, why bother waiting? See if you can get something else, but don't leave before you have it. So I hope that both of them have the opportunities that they want. So,
just so I don't get in trouble or have to go to an office, Spencer, thank you. We're real curious to hear on what happened. I think we all are, to be honest. Like, this is one that I don't know. For me, like, if they wanted to release them before, they very well could have, right?
Haven't they? I believe they have in the past, though, didn't they?
No, I think he's been there the whole time since. This contract is not expired once.
Yeah, no, Ali has not been released. He is now just
not
requested.
used.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Which is there a difference? Really? Not really.
I mean, it's comparing like a green apple to a red apple. You know, they're not that much different. There's a little bit, but not much. But with that being said, it's very weird that at this point now it's like, okay, if you're not releasing him, why don't you have anything for him? I mean, okay, I can get that you can't come up with stuff creatively for everyone all the time, but this isn't just an all the time thing when it comes to, him. It's sorry, no, it isn't all the time when you're not coming up with something creatively for him. It's like, can you just come up with something and stay with it? Because you had something in Retribution.
Oh, we've been hacked.
Oh, yep. And Parrish is out for the count.
Yeah, you can't talk about that certain faction anymore.
Apparently,
this is what happens.
He's dead silence now. Yep. The WWE's onto us here.
Oh no. I love their product. It's amazing. I never have anything bad to say.
Oh no.
I'm running out of nice things to say. I liked the 90s.
Let's see if we can freeze this up again, though. I think where Parrish was going is they did have something in Retribution going there and stuff like that. And I think a lot of people took very big interest in Retribution and were behind the idea of it happening and being used. And really, I feel like they failed that group and stuff like that, because I don't think the WWE is quite aware of how to use large groups of people anymore. They don't know how to work with factions, and clearly they don't know that well how to work with tag teams lately either, for that matter.
I don't think that's outside of thing, but that's a different discussion.
That's true, yes. But I believe that, I mean, it's really sad when it comes down to the fact that people are just unhappy and don't want to be there anymore. I'd like to see Ali get used a hell of a lot more, even in WWE. I think there's a lot that could be done with somebody like him, but if he's not happy, then we're obviously not going to get the best out of him in that company either. So maybe it's best that he goes and tries his luck with somebody else, goes somewhere else, and hones his craft somewhere elsewhere. And who knows where I'd like to know in the comments, where would anybody like to see Ali end up if he does leave the WWE? Where is the best destination of someone of his talent? I mean, personally, I'd have to say I'd like to see him go to somewhere like New Japan.
Yeah, I think he could, but on the American side, I think, or even in Japan itself, I think it'd be amazing, because his athleticism. I mean, I haven't followed Ali the whole time he's been working for WWE, but from what I've seen, the man can go.
Oh, he can for sure.
And we have a comment from the boss. Boop.
Yeah. He's not wrong at all, actually. I mean, Ali being one of the most talented wrestlers on the roster and would be one of the most talented on any roster. The guy can put on a great matchup. He does a great promo as well, too. He knows how to handle his business very well. I mean, he was surprisingly probably one of my favorite matches from the last Saudi matches and stuff like that with him and Mansoor. I thought was, a sleeper match. I didn't really expect it. I knew they were two guys that could work inside that ring. I didn't know that they would capture my interest as much as they did. And I was really into that matchup. So, I mean, kudos. Ali is fantastic and clearly shown that he can work with just about anybody.
Well, I mean, if you look at, let's just dissect what you just said there. If you weren't sure, to be honest, about, like, if he's the best match on one of the best matches during that show, maybe just give him time. And I think, and this is segueing into a good thing that I have to say here, Astrid brings up a good point. Imagine what he could do in Impact with that roster, the X Division. Or, like, tell me I'm wrong. I want to see Ali versus Mike Bailey. I want to see Ali versus Trey Miguel. I'd love to see that. That'd be amazing. I just want people that want to wrestle to be able to wrestle, and what's the expression? Get your I don't know if I can say that whole thing, but get your bleep in, kid. Get your bleep in. That's nobody clipped that. We get in trouble. Sorry, Spencer. But yeah, no, I'm. It's sad to see people leave, but
And I mean, I think there's another comment there from Bobby as well too, which talks about either MLW or NWA. I mean, obviously, being an MLW fan, I can get on board with that one all day long. I mean, I would love to see Ali get in the ring and tear down the house against like Davey Richards. I mean, that's a match I would love to watch.
Yeah.
I mean, and again, a match, nobody's really tied down to a contract with like an NWA or MLW. So in reality, it doesn't even have to take place on either one of those companies. Those matches are very possible just about anywhere.
Yep.
And yeah, I've got all day for matches like that.
And I think that speaks more to the landscape of I mean, we're past TV being a big factor in getting wrestling out there. I mean, obviously it's a very big factor still for certain companies, but if you look at MLW and you look at NWA, they're running on YouTube.
Yeah.
So there's people watching this, obviously, because if they're able to sustain a company on YouTube alone, I mean, I'm sure it's not YouTube alone. Billy Pumpkins is going to at me. I'm going to get in trouble. But the landscape has completely changed. And I really love seeing it. And I'm so excited every time somebody's just like, you know what? I'm going to greener pastures. And notice how I didn't just say one pasture, because the opportunities are limitless in professional wrestling at the moment, depending on where you want to go and how you want to be used.
Well, see, we're both music fans, and you can almost compare the way the music of nowadays is in terms of the way wrestling's handled and stuff too. I mean, it used to be closed circuit televisions and pay for this, pay for that kind of thing. Same with music. You had to go buy an album from the actual store. Some of us still do.
I still do.
Yeah, well, so do I. I got quite the collection, actually. But, you think about it, it's more accessible. Bands are actually putting full albums onto YouTube upon release. You can go listen to an entire album by a band. I think where the money draws in is they get people to watch it, they get people to listen to it, and then you'll be more inclined to go to a concert, go to a live show for pro wrestling, buy t-shirts, buy merchandise, the stuff that actually draws in the value, because the value anymore just isn't in television, because you're not getting the advertising clicks that you used to get and stuff like that. I mean, you might get some with online stuff, or you might find your own sponsors. I mean, clearly NWA's got theirs. MLW has built quite the decent amount of sponsors there. And you have to rely on that kind of stuff. Sponsorship money, merch money, and stuff like that is really where you can draw in that financial backing. And they've done it really well.
No, and I couldn't agree more. Shall we, I mean, unless you have something else to say, I'd like to move on to another topic.
You bet. Let's. What we got?
Your namesake actually brought it up as well. Who is next to challenge Deonna Purrazzo? For which title I follow up, because Two Belts Deonna is back. Nice. By the way, I would really, really love to see Taya.
Yeah.
I really want Taya to challenge for that Reina de Reina championship. For the ROH championship, I mean,
he's back.
Hello, he's back.
Right. So apparently our local city does not like the fact I won a title last night, because they're working on our cable box outside our house.
That's what we call retribution. You can't.
Oh, yeah.
I'm requesting my release.
They took it out.
Yes. Stick to it. Stuck the landing on that one. But yeah, we were just Parrish. Maybe we can get your thoughts. Deonna Purrazzo holds two belts: the ROH Women's Championship and the Reina de Reina Championship from Triple. Sorry, folks. I apologize. Too much coffee.
Is she not the best female wrestler going right now?
Yes.
You could argue yes, and you would probably win the argument. Yes. I must say I was really impressed. I mean, it's the first time I've ever seen Roxy. I loved what I saw, and I want to see that again.
She's going places for sure.
Yeah. I really liked that. But as I was saying,
Deonna's like a whole nother level, though. Like she really is. Just the way she composes herself, she comes across like a champion. She carries herself like a champion, and not many do. She does it brilliantly.
And just to sort of piggyback off of that, it's not even she carries herself like a champion, which she 100% does. The thing about it is she carries herself like an old school champion. Like, imagine her in the NWA just walking in, I own every one of you.
Yeah.
I am the virtuosa. I can take anything that I want at any time. Also, I love the new look that she's doing now because Mickey has pushed her to the point of, no, I need to punch people in the face a little bit harder, which is great. And if this pushes her to that next level of, I'm just a dominant, awful person champion, I love it. Even though she's not the Impact champion, but still.
Looks like in the comments, my pick was already taken there by our own Love Wrestling. So I would have actually said Max the Impaler. I really think that Max needs to get some more time on television. In fact, I kind of got used to watching Max in the Ring of Honor just the last few months, I guess, of Ring of Honor's inception there and stuff like that. And what a just absolute powerhouse with an intimidating look that I think is just perfect for professional wrestling. Max all day. Any day.
Man. I mean, she's actually kind of being, and I apologize if I've butchered the name, but if we're going with in-house Impact people to challenge Deanna for, again, which title, how about Masha Slamovic?
That's another good pick.
Because, oh my goodness, I love me some Russian bad lady work. I love it. Just the sheer destruction of whatever's in front of her. I love it so far.
Looks like in the chat, Bobby brought up Willow Nightingale too, and Willow Nightingale is just a rising star in professional wrestling right now. I mean, she's been killing it in MLW. She had that great match with Roxy at the final Ring of Honor pay-per-view there as well too. I mean, Willow is just taken recent professional wrestling by storm, and I think she is only going to continue to rise and be probably one of the biggest names we're talking about this same time next year.
I just want to confirm here because again, I'm very new to both of these companies, Ring of Honor and MLW as well. Willow Nightingale was feuding with Holiday, correct?
Yes, exactly. Yes. Yeah.
No,
and what a great feud that's turning into too. I really like those two. Yeah.
Oh, you know what? I forgot one of my new favorites, but this is one of my new favorites. Oh, no, that's not the one. Lady Frost. I mean, how could you not? Total title freeze out. I would buy into it. Not for one of them, for both of them. Go watch the Ultimate X match. You'll know what I mean.
Yeah, I still have to get around to it. I didn't get around to watching it.
So
I mean, I'm kicking myself. I know I missed out, but I'll get to it.
as we were talking about during the pre-show here, nobody's putting on bad cards lately.
No.
And Hard to Kill was hard to deny that it's one of the best Impact shows I've seen in a while. And I loved every second of it, except for the men's world title match, because I didn't like anybody in it except for Cordona, but whatever. That's personal opinion, not a fact.
Oh, that's okay. And I mean, when we say put on good cards, it doesn't have to be every single match is good kind of thing. I mean, obviously there's some things that I don't like that somebody else might, and vice versa kind of thing. And to me, a good card is where I can walk out of it and say at least half to over half was something I will remember. And that has happened quite often lately with pretty much all companies. So, I mean, 2022 is really, in my opinion, looking up for everybody in professional wrestling. And I hope it just continues to go in this direction. It finally feels like we're getting the type of pro wrestling that I want to see.
It's very interesting. It's a very interesting time to be a wrestling fan. I've been saying that, I feel like, for the last year and a half, where everybody's just, oh, look, I'm released. Oh, look, I'm going to show up here. But you love to see it, and I want to see more of it. So wrestling should be a mystery. That's what I loved about like wrestling when I was a kid, because I was ignorant to everything. And now I'm just ignorant to the facts. Shall we dig myself out of this hole? Alrighty. How about this? I don't see it being a problem that she has the digital championship at the moment.
Yeah. I mean,
I think she could challenge. I think option C could be used on that title if she holds it long enough. That's just me.
And again, it's just another great opportunity. It just goes to show
no
the amount of talent that's out there.
Exactly. And I got no problem with Jordan Grace being a Jordan 2 belts either. Like, have you seen her?
Yeah.
Tell me she
Yeah.
does. I mean, I don't think her arms are big enough to be able to hold 2 belts. There, that's my thoughts.
Speaking of title matches, not to completely swerve us off the topic we're on right now, but there was a match that was posted in our Love Wrestling chat.
Bobby,
Oh,
hold on
sorry,
one
sorry,
moment.
sorry.
Hold
All
on.
right, yeah.
Because somebody just popped me in the comments.
Okay.
We were talking about Evolution.
Yes.
Evolution is a mystery.
It really is.
It really is.
But
that's all I'm saying about that. Go listen to Poetry for Promo. I think it's episode 2, and you'll understand why.
So yeah. So anyway, this match that we had posted in our Love Wrestling chat by the Matt recently this week, an Australian match from PWA Black Label that was named one of I believe PWI's top match or one of their top matches from all of last year between Aussie Open and the Velocities. Two teams I'm very familiar with. Velocities are like a young rising team that I think everybody's going to know about in years to come. And Aussie Open, if you don't already know, I mean, these guys are world traveled champions everywhere they go. A couple of big boys that can give you one hell of a matchup every single time. These two teams tear this house down in this matchup. It is 45 minutes of pure gold from start to finish. And anybody go to YouTube, type in PWA Black Label, the Velocities versus Aussie Open. Spend 45 minutes of your day watching something that will be memorable. And to the Matt, thank you for sharing, because I had forgotten to watch this one yet. Watched it the other night. Classic.
I mean, I'm sold. I will probably be witnessing this afternoon, and I will let you know how awesome it really is. But if you don't want to wait for my review, go find it yourselves.
Highly recommend people do that for sure.
Yeah, I mean, what are we here to talk about? Wrestling and how much we love it. And if this match is as good as Bobby says, and I'm not a man to sit here and deny what beautiful Bobby Munson says on right here on Love Wrestling, where honesty is the best policy. Go and watch the dang match.
Look, I got the chat going. CFG South's on board. Knows about the shooting star press from one of the Velocities that turns into a DDT.
What?
Just wait, man.
I need to see this match.
It's just one of many moments that you'll be like, wow.
My mind just left. I need to see this.
Yes.
Excellent. So, where do we go into the abyss that is this week or this year or just wrestling in general? The floor is yours, good sir.
Where do we go from here, man? I almost need some tag team assistance from the chat on this one. I've been so preoccupied lately with the planning for our show. I mean, it kind of came up out of nowhere on us. We just announced it right at the end of December, and then all of a sudden, like, you're in Christmas break, New Year's mode, and then all of a sudden, holy crap, we've got a show in 2 weeks that I got to get prepared for. So there's a lot of planning and stuff to do. So I mean, my knowledge and watching of wrestling was a little limited. I got some in, obviously. I spent 45 minutes the other night watching a match, but I kind of do that while I'm doing my editing at the same time. So I'm sitting there putting together PPW matches on my laptop while I've got the Velocities and Aussie Open beating the hell out of each other up on the big screen.
So I mean, to me, life is good at that point. I feel
yes,
that's what we want, really. That's the goal. Although, got a question, and maybe this can segue into another conversation that we had earlier today. Let's talk about. I'm not going to do it because I respect the man too much. But let's talk about Major League Wrestling. Who do you guys want to see wrestle on MLW's women's division?
That's a good question. I mean,
very good question.
I mean, obviously, I would have gone with Roxy had they not announced it already. So we're going to get to see Roxy in the MLW women's division.
I was going to say, I'm pretty sure I thought I saw something about that. That was my answer. Maybe Deanna. Deanna can do whatever. I mean, Impact's pretty loose. Let's be real here. Like, that's what I love about Impact. You can come in, do a run, and then go.
Well, and that's what MLW's done now with the open door policy is that they
Mhm.
can have people come in for spots. This is something I said right from the start that I would have loved to see them do, and hopefully they still could pull it off. Is to basically reignite the team of Holodead and Thunder Rosa on
Ooh,
MLW and have them go against the Sea Stars in a matchup. And I really would love to see that. I
yep.
think that could be a great tag team matchup for MLW. And yeah,
I
Corbauer, if you're listening to me ever, book it.
Yep. As I mentioned, cannot deny anything that this man says because it's all truth. All of it's real. All of it's truth. Speaking of MLW, Major League Wrestling's daddy, got a question.
Yes.
How do we feel? How do we feel about the unique opportunities? Yes, I waited all week to say that. That are presenting themselves in Azteca Underground. Or
think
no, it's not Azteca. I butchered the name. I'm sorry.
no, Azteca Underground. No, you
Is it
nailed
Azteca
Yeah,
Underground? I get so
Azteca
confused.
Underground. Yes, MLW
Yes.
Azteca Underground. So, I mean, this has been such a interesting build-up as an MLW fan. I mean, this is something that's been teased since last season of their fusion show and stuff like that. And so this has all been building for a while. Finally took this whole thing down to Mexico to do the tapings of this, and the first week in a really nice looking arena. Actually, I really liked the what they did with the first week of it and everything there, and gotten to see some luchador wrestlers that haven't seen or for a while, or maybe hadn't heard of it all. I mean, I know we were talking about Pagano, who's now appeared twice for MLW and these things, and man, what a guy, what a big boy he is, and he can move around there tough as nails too. And then like the second week, bringing it to this underground fight club, like a legitimate underground fight club. Like this couldn't look any more rustic and downright dirty, but man, did it have the right feel for this entire thing. I like it. It breaks up the standard every week in Philly that was going on there with MLW. It's a nice little change, and I like that they're able to finally get on the road and do a little bit more of this and really kind of change the direction of where they go. That was the whole nice thing about fusion, was that they bring in these different blends and styles and stuff like that, and that they can give every wrestling fan a little bit of what they love to see on a wrestling show. I like it personally. I think it's been a lot of fun. Yeah, I got nothing but great things to say about MLW as a whole.
Me neither. I love being able to actually, when I watched last week's episode, because I'll be honest with you, ladies and gentlemen and lizards alike, I haven't quite finished this week's episode because it makes me nervous seeing the Underground Fight Club. So Wordsmith recoils in horror when he sees that. I'll be honest. Yes, just like your mind. Where was I going with this? Yes, I enjoy this this particular run a little bit too much because I very badly kept secret. I don't know if you see it in the background. I love lucha libre. I really do, and I love being able to see luchadors like Aerostar.
Yes.
Seeing Aerostar again was like, oh, Lucha Underground. It's amazing. I love to see it. And King Muertes. Oh,
Yes. yes.
oh, give me more all the time. Just give me Mill King. Just make him. He's just death, and he's awesome. Cannot say better things about Mil Muertes, King Muertes. Just an awesome person, and don't know him personally. Can't vouch for him being an awesome person, but you know what I mean. Awesome character, love it. And I'm really looking forward to seeing where MLW is going. And I think I have somebody on the screen to thank for that. So thank you again, Mr. Munson.
Oh, I'm just glad you finally tuned in. I mean,
it's so good.
I'm glad that you're enjoying it, and I'm glad that anybody tunes in and enjoys MLW. I think they have a very complete show that offers, a free show every single week. I mean, they're putting this thing out, and such great talents that they have over there. So, I mean, I can't ever say enough nice thing. And the nice thing is too is like a lot of the wrestlers in MLW are just very down to earth and real in so many ways too. Like, I mean, that I hate to toot my own horn, but some of them actually have like reached out and said they've watched my show and listened to what I say. And I'm like, really? Like, why do you want to listen to what I've got to say? Like you're you, I'm just me. But it's quite humbling and stuff like that. And then getting to talk to some of them and everything, they're just great human beings, and they do a great product, and it goes to show that the culture there must be great too, because these guys are wanting to sign deals and stick around that company and work for Court Bauer. They love what he's doing, and it's amazing in every way.
Now, before we move on to this next question, I just wanted to put out a plug to. Oh, just put out a plug. You'll see what I'm doing in a minute. Oh, Bobby just did. You get it. Now, speaking of MLW, we had what is the name of this? Oh yeah, Alicia Atout was on Between Two Beards this week.
Yes, she was.
Yes, talking about MLW, talking about music, talking about just the awesome world and her career. And if you haven't seen it, my best friend is on that show, Mr. Pluggo. We'll talk about the Christmas trees another day. Go watch that. In fact, go watch everything on lovewrestling.ca. Do it.
Get your
there. I've gotten my cheap plug in. Oh yeah, throw that up. Throw that
right
up.
there.
And you know what? I got this too.
Oh.
Look at this. Look at this. Little mug, little mug gimmick going on. Ladies and gentlemen, where can you find these lovely products? Bobby, do you know?
I'm not sure, but I know you're going to tell me.
Of course I'm going to tell you. Wordsmith never lies. Wordsmith will not deny you details. I might prolong the thing a little bit, but you can go over to lovewrestling.ca/shop and you can find all of these things, actually, including which side?
Oh, there's
the sticker. There's a sticker. I've been branded. Yes, lovewrestling.ca/shop. SHOP. Just buy some merch. Or you can go over to, do we have graphics for this? I believe I should probably.
There's got to be something in there.
There should be. Hold on one moment here, folks. We will. You know what? As I figure this out, let's have Bobby discuss a comment that Dar Amazing put in the chat while the wordsmith figures out his life. Yes.
Do they need a Lucha Libre title in MLW? I'm going to have to say no. And here, let me please explain.
Explain yourself.
Yes. First of all, I'm not a big lover of too many titles to begin with. But my biggest reason with this is MLW does a lot of crossover with other companies, and they have a direct hookup with AAA. So they actually have done a lot of having the AAA, I think, I want to say the middleweight championship. It's not called the middleweight championship there. They've had that title be defended actually on MLW ground. I believe that at one point, I think I'm trying to go back now. I want to say that this was Myron Reed that had held both belts, or was it Leo Rush? One or the other. Sorry, my memory fails me at the moment, but one of them was holding both titles at the same time, and I do believe that it was Leo Rush there. And yeah, I mean, that's the nice thing about doing those crossover promotions and stuff like that, is you can have those titles come in from other places, and it's working out great. I mean, it's proofs in the pudding. They're now working out with All Japan Pro Wrestling, and they had the middleweight champion of MLW, Tajiri, actually defend the title over at an All Japan Pro Wrestling show, and then they broadcast that. Yeah, I mean, it's just, that's the nice thing about MLW and the way they run business, is that they, instead of introducing more of their own championship belts, they can bring the title belts in from all these different international companies, and then that way it kind of gives you that opportunity to see those belts on, I guess, our YouTube programming out here and everything like that, and a great exposure for those companies and a reason to go check them out as well too.
Well, that's the wrong comment. Sorry about that.
Actually, yes, Dare Amazing brings up, but yeah.
I was wondering if you could speak on that, because I'm new to that. So tell me about that.
Dare Amazing also, it brings up it was Leo, and the reason that it didn't count, yes, that's what it was, is that the claim by the World Cruiserweight Champion out of AAA claimed that Leo had not actually truly won that matchup and laid claim back to his own championship. And so they basically flopped the belt back to the original champion at that point. So it was a little sad to see. It would have been nice if they would have actually maybe had Leo go out somewhere and defend it against one of the guys from AAA and, drop the title that way. But it is what it is. I mean, it was just one of those things that happened to get the belt back out there at the time. But I do like the fact that they are willing to open that door and bring championships in from other companies and then share their belts to be defended in other territories as well too.
This is an interesting one. We have another question from Bobby in the chat, not on the screen, but it's about to be on the screen. The Crockett Cup for women's tag team division. What do you think, sir? I think it could work. I think bringing in people across the universe, the multiverse, the ether of professional wrestling, I think it could work. Thoughts, feelings, cutting remarks?
I'm never really against any ideas like this as long as they're handled well. Again, if they're just going to do it and slap teams together for the sake of doing it like they seem to do with the Dusty Rhodes Classic, then I'm not really necessarily as on board with it. I don't want to see slap together tag teams for the sake of putting on a namesake tournament. But if they're going to do it and they're going to have some legitimate teams in there, ones that actually legitimately want to carry themselves as tag teams, then yes, I am 110% behind the idea of the women having their own Crockett Cup tag team tournament. I would love to watch it. I just, again, like I said, if you're going to add teams like the Sea Stars and teams like that into their fantastic. I'm 100% on board with that.
No, exactly. And I do like the condition there. However, I must protest the condition a little bit, as I do. If it's a new team, like think of like a Cesaro and Sheamus. I know they're WWE. It's fine. Don't jump on me for this. But imagine that type of team coming into the cup or the tournament or whatever you want to call it. That would work as long as it's established that they're a team like a hate you, have to work with you type of team would work. Not this just, oh, well, we were together in the back, so you two are teaming type of team. I don't want that.
And that's what I mean when I say slap together. I mean, if there's a reason behind it, like that love-hate type thing, then sure, that
tell
can
me
work.
why.
And well, exactly. Or if like it's a new team, but they want to be a team, like not just when you get that feeling like it's two single wrestlers put into a team for the sake of adding to a tag team tournament. I'm not really big on that. But if it's going to be two that, you could see them beyond this carrying on as a tag team because they legitimately want to give tag team life a try. Yeah, 100%. I can get on board with it.
No, I feel that. All righty. Just checking the time here, folks. One moment. Folks, we are here just to steal from the big boss here. I'm going to try. This is my Spencer Love impression. Get ready for it. Folks, we are here on lovewrestling.ca across the multiverse of social media videos, things I don't understand, things that make me scared. However, we are here to talk about wrestling. We are also here to talk to you, the people. So if you want to talk about anything professional wrestling or otherwise, please let us know in the comments. All right, now that I've done that. Oh, look, my phone's ringing. I'm getting called into the office. All right. Is there anything you would like?
Boss is right on top of it right now.
Oh, he is. Yeah.
He's only watching because he knows I'm on the show. He's like, I better watch out. This guy's gonna tank my show.
Bobby's on. Yeah. Two highest rated shows right here.
There used to be like 6 to 8 people on Sunday Brunch every week, and all of a sudden I started, and it's like we're struggling to get 1 or 2 to join me on here. I don't know. Maybe I'm like a virus to this thing or something.
Well,
I'm infecting the company like Vince McMahon did with the NWO.
A lethal dose of poison. I don't have a spinning chair that I can turn around, and what a waste of a chair.
That was a nice chair too, damn it.
That was a nice chair. That's like a couple $100 chair. It's just, no, pal. Let's put the NWO logo on it. Because Ric Flair's a jerk. Like wrestling, ladies and gentlemen, and lizards alike. Speaking of the NWO, let's go down that rabbit hole because nobody in the comments is talking about it. We've talked about NWA, MLW, WWE. Let's talk about another 3-letter thing, NWO. Who is your favorite all-time member of the NWO?
Well, I'll say it in a minute. First, I saw a post there from Astrid, and I just want to say thank you, Astrid.
Oh, yes. Yes. I wasn't sure if that was you or for the other Bobby. There we go. Happy
But yes,
birthday
thank
to
you, Astrid. Yes, tomorrow. So yes, thank you very much. I
Oh,
appreciate that. So
well, happy birthday from everyone at Love Wrestling that didn't show up, but I'm here, so happy birthday. I
thank
hope
you.
your day is lovely and exceptional, as is the man celebrating.
It's nice to finally be turning 20 years old. It's quite amazing.
Is this your third or fourth time turning 20?
I don't know when I started stopped counting. So.
Yeah, so it's weird, and I'll digress for a moment here, as I don't do on this show at all. But I feel like as soon as you get past like the 3 at the beginning, it's a bit like, well, kids will be making fun of my age group soon if they aren't already.
I think they already do.
Can't go on YouTube anymore. TikTok, yeah. I don't even know what that is. I thought it was a clock. There we go.
I remember being a kid and thinking, man, 20-year-olds are really old. Now where I'm at, I'm like, oh, yikes.
Very, very old.
But going back to that NWO topic.
Yes, let's discuss that.
Yes,
away from the numbers of age.
For me personally, I think looking back on it now, I mean, maybe my opinion would have been different when teenage me was watching the NWO coming out, but I really personally am a Scott Hall fan in terms of like his in-ring ability, his talking and everything like that. I think he was very much an overlooked talent in many ways, a guy who maybe should have been more likely a world champion. I mean, obviously he had his demons, and that's why a lot of people say maybe wasn't given those opportunities. But I mean, overall, I mean, he's a better in-ring performer than Kevin Nash or Hulk Hogan, for that matter. If we're gonna go original NWO, but I mean, the kid in me, I mean, obviously I was a Hulk Hogan fan growing up. I mean, not knowing enough about pro wrestling or about the man himself to really make any judgments at the time. So, but yeah, looking back on it now, I'd have to go with Scott Hall personally. I think he's a great talent, and I still can go back and watch his body of work and enjoy it.
I mean, I can't argue with that. Although Nash with his 7 moves, he was really good at those 7 moves.
Yeah, but 4 of those moves were punches.
Hey, flipper, the flip. Sorry, I'm sure we've all seen the clip. And the hair flip, Don't forget the hair flip.
Yes.
If we're going, no, you know what? I'm gonna make. How do I not get in trouble again? I have to go with the King of the Mountain, Mr. Jeff Jarrett, as the
and Mr. Slapnuts himself.
No, we're not going there. I would have to agree, Scott Hall, actually, and let me explain why. It is the in-ring ability, but it's also the fact that he was the first one, to show up and just what is happening. That was just insane. I didn't witness it live because I was busy growing up, actually, and not watching WCW, which was a huge mistake. I know.
See,
but yeah, so as soon as I've seen that footage when I was a little bit older and a little bit wiser and going, that is so cool. Could you imagine being in the audience as Razor Ramon walks by and it's just, what? I saw you on TV like 2 days ago for another company. What's happening?
That's what it was like for me, because I started watching pro wrestling in the early 90s with the WWF at the time. And it wasn't until they had taken like Hulk Hogan and Randy Savage, and all of a sudden I'm like, they're over in this other company that I hadn't heard of. And so I had cable TV. I was able to track down WCW and like, oh, wow, there's 2 wrestling companies. Like, I mean, this is the knowledge I had. Like, I thought there was only 2 wrestling companies in existence at the time. This is how young I was. But I started watching. I'd flip back and forth and watch the 2. I'd tape one, watch the other kind of thing, and always go back with them. And I do recall that. I mean, it was so weird to see Razor Ramon and Diesel one week, and then a few days later, I'm turning on WCW, and wait a second, there's Razor Ramon and Diesel walking into what is going on here? This was pretty wild. It was something I had not really seen at the time, so it really made a lasting impact.
Yep. And then they got the band back together in the Impact Zone, and it was not good.
Yeah, well, I mean, that just goes without saying. You don't need to keep reigniting old things like that anymore. I mean, when it's one and done, that should be enough for those kind of things.
But it's not. Actually, it's a little personal anecdote here. I went to a convention of comic book proportions in my hometown here, and Kevin Nash was speaking as a panel or what have you. And I walked into the room as he was giving the following answer. Hunter, how about you put a couple of those NWO shirts back into circulation? Get the old moolah going again. Didn't even want to do a run. Just wanted the shirt to go back into production so he could make money off of it. Because Kevin Nash doesn't care about wrestling. Because he does 7 moves, which he's really, really good at. But that's it. But I digress. I love Kevin Nash. I really do. Big, sexy. Sorry.
I was a fan back in the day. Don't get me wrong. Again, I was a little kid. Diesel came along. I was like, here's a big boy that can destroy people. And I mean, I thought it was cool. Again, I was the kid that bought into it. I mean, why not? Like, I didn't know I would really grow up to enjoy watching competitive wrestling matches and stuff like that. So as much as I thought the cool factor of the big characters and stuff like that was what I really liked at the time. I mean, that's what drew me in to begin with. And that's kind of what I went with for quite a few years. So.
Now, speaking of big, bad looking dudes, shall we discuss another 3-lettered company?
We can.
I mean, I know you're not the biggest fan, but I'd like to get your opinion. There's been a new member. Somebody came through the door of the House of Black.
Yes, they did.
and that man is Brody Mother-flippin'. No, wait, is that his name? Brody King? Yes.
Yes.
Did I mess that up?
No.
Yes, probably. No. Brody King, how do you feel about that?
I'm on board.
They are two scary looking men. And put them on my TV. Let them murder the Lucha Brothers, even though Phoenix has already kind of done that to himself. But he'll be fine. He'll be back. He's made of rubber, apparently.
He's like Gumby.
Okay. Gut reaction here, folks, ladies, gentlemen. I didn't watch it live. I saw photos of the bending. He's an arm bender, let's just say. If you haven't seen it, go back and watch last week's was it Dynamite? I think it was Dynamite that it happened.
I think so, yeah.
And I watched it and I was in agony. So there you go. But yes, what are your thoughts on Brody King and Malachi Black?
I think it's great because, I mean, these are two guys that have a very good look together. I mean, they fit well together. This is great for Malachi. I think he's a great talent as well too. I like what he's been doing over in AEW, and I'm on board with the idea of him having Brody King there because, I mean, these are two guys that they just have a pro wrestling look about them. They belong there. They're going to go out. They're going to kick some major ass, and I'm excited to tune into it. I mean, as much as I've, maybe made it clear that I wasn't really on board with AEW, I think a lot of that just more so that they came out when they didn't have the kind of stuff I liked at first, but for the most part is what my biggest problem with them is. But it's slowly changing. I mean, I've found myself tuning into more AEW recently than I have done since their inception. And a lot of that is just due to the fact that things like this, Brody King coming in, working with a guy like Malachi, or, the stuff that's going on with CM Punk and MJF, and just all the things that they are finally doing right, and really, taking guys like myself who weren't on board with the company and drawing us in. And hey, kudos to them for doing it.
Now, you talk about the progression of AEW, or as I like to say, the evolution of AEW. And
it's a mystery.
It's a mystery. Sorry, I had to, and I apologize for nothing. I don't regret it. Anyway, folks, we are at about an hour here. We are very close. Is there anything that you, in the comments, or even in the mind of Bobby, that you would like to talk about? We have a comment from the other Bobby. Not you, the other Bobby, in the comments. So let's go there, and then let's see what happens next.
For the women. Interesting. Yeah, I mean, I saw that card pop up. I haven't watched anything from it. I'd be curious. Angelina Love's quite a talent. I'd be curious to know, Bobby, like who else was in that rumble? Like, is anyone that stood out or that we should be known about? I mean, obviously Angelina Love's quite a great name, but is there anybody, even if they're not like a great name, like who, Bobby, would you personally recommend that we ourselves check out? Like, who's a up and coming star out of that battle royal from the OVW show?
Show your work. Show all of your work. Actually, just send the whole name. Send the whole list.
Yeah.
Or not. Whatever. It's up to you.
I might
I'm
have
not
to do
going to
my
make you
own
do
research
things.
now.
Oh, goodness. Let us. So, should we talk about this week? What's happening this week?
I don't know, but I know you're going to pop it up on that screen.
Let's see what we can. Hopefully, this is the right one. Otherwise, I'm going to get a phone call from Mr. Ralph and Mr. Love. I'm going to get in trouble. Here we go. Hopefully you saw that. I don't.
I saw it on my screen.
I think that works. So I'll flash that up again, and I'm not sure. Sorry, folks, I'm new to this. We'll flash that up again. All right, our mics are not muted. This is our whole schedule for this week. We have Poetry for Promo coming out tomorrow, and let me tell you a little secret about Poetry for Promo tomorrow. It's going to be the best there is. It's going to be the best there was. And it's going to be the best there ever will be. Coming back to Montreal after 15 years. Also, we have all this other stuff. If you can read. Actually, Bobby, do you want to do a quick read here? Just give us a.
So looking at the screen here, you've got a match from Change the Game on Monday with Nicole Matthews and Ava Lawless. On Tuesday, we have the doubleheader of Power Out and NXT. On Wednesday, it looks like we have Spencer Love interviews, and I'll be damned. I'm sorry, I don't know who it's with, so shoot me in the comments for not knowing that one, but I apologize my ass off for that. We got the flagship show Between Two Beards on Thursday, but
my best friend.
And I just lost the screen, but we got stuff coming up next weekend as well too, including Sunday brunch here as usual.
There is a whole bunch, and Bobby, you're coming into the office with me.
Sounds like
that's who that is.
Much trouble now. I apologize.
Oh no, this is the Anarchy Show.
I apologize to both the boss and to Ben because
well, shame on you. It's coming out of your paycheck, and you know where that budget's going to go to Between Two Beards on Thursdays. Oh, alrighty, folks. Shall we? Do you have anything else? Any closing remarks there, sir?
Nothing from me. I mean, as always, just continue to tune into all the shows here on Love Wrestling and show us the support and everything. We appreciate every single one of you that takes the time out of your day to, listen to what we have to say here on Love Wrestling.
Yes. I can't reiterate that fact enough. Where can the people find you, sir?
As usual, you can find me over at my channel, the Video Bros Network, with my show Ring Respect Radio. And again, we should have some upcoming matches for Prairie Pro Wrestling from the show back in October that will be released shortly. And also, I will have the work coming up for me to do the ones from last night. And man, last night's were off the hook. So I can't wait to be able to share that with everybody.
All right. And do not forget, I know we mentioned it earlier this show, but if you're just tuning in, don't forget to head over to manscaped.com using Love Wrestling, the code, to get 20% off and free shipping. That's right, free shipping. You can get the Lawnmower 4.0. We're advancing. Evolution, mystery, I know. You can get the Lawnmower 4.0. Keep it neat. Keep it nice. And I don't mean your beard and I don't mean your head. I mean that downstairs mix-up, I suppose, as, you could call it. Your balls, they're going to thank you. Use it. And all the other fine products that they have at manscaped.com. Remember, manscaped.com. Use promo code Love Wrestling. How many % off?
20.
20. That's insane.
It is insane. Who gives that kind of deal?
Manscaped.com and all of the lovely folks here at lovewrestling.ca. Now that is an ad read, and this is an outro for Bobby Munson. I'm the Wordsmith. You can find me on social media, things that I know nothing about, at Poetry Over Promo. You can find all our lovely catalog of work on lovewrestling.ca. Support the channel, support Love Wrestling, and support local wrestling. But most of all, just love wrestling and love each other. Thanks for watching Sunday Brunch. Bobby, vamp for a moment. Vamping,
All right.
vamping. Ta-ta.